Hello there, very good evening and a warm welcome to the news on Rupavahini Channel I. I'm Sharama Screen News.
Hello there, very good evening indeed. I'm Javed Bongzo and we begin with the headlines of tonight's news.
The President instructs to clean and conserve all rivers in the country before the end of the year. The Surakimuganga National Program has commenced. Cremation of Most Venerable Kotugoda Mahanayaka Thero will be conducted with full state honours on next Thursday. Debate on the human rights proposal against Sri Lanka is being held today. The vote is scheduled to be conducted tomorrow.
Now for those and other stories in detail. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has instructed the Ministry of Environment today to take measures to clean and conserve all rivers in the island before the end of the year. The President has also requested all those appearing on behalf of environment in social media to discharge their obligations in the true form. The President has made these observations participating in the inaugural ceremony of the Surakimuganga National Program at the Mahanayaka Bund of the historic Kathragama sacred site today. The program to conserve local river network is considered as a prominent program in the Sustainable Environment Management Plan embodied in the tenfold concept of the Saubhagya Dakma policy statement. The aim of the program to protect the rivers is to provide pure drinking water, to safeguard environmental and bioresources and enhancement of the tourist industry. Steps are being taken to implement the Surakimuganga program to encompass the conservation of 103 rivers in Sri Lanka. The President has also declared open the computer app on Geological Information Technology map of the Surakimuganga program. Secretary of the Ministry of Environment Specialist Physician Dr. Anil Jasinger has presented to the President copies of the environmental journals Sobhaketa and Mihimadala. A sum of 23 billion rupees has been set aside to purify the river system under the Surakimuganga program. The President has further pointed out that if the funds are not adequate to complete the project before the end of the year, additional funds will be provided. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa said that certain social media are giving an impression that he as President is responsible for the felling of trees and adding refuse to rivers. They see that all others are engaged in environmental protection. The President has called upon the media not to use their medium as a fashionable device. The President further said that if every citizen fulfilled their duties, the environment could be easily protected. The President also said that the villagers never destroy the environment but protect it. It is the businessmen who destroy forests and surroundings. The sustainable development based on environmental protection should be implemented in order to safeguard the livelihood of around 75% of the population who live in villages under extremely difficult conditions. He added that there is no use of safeguarding the law by further burdening the people. Solutions have to be provided for the problems of the milk farmer and the traditional farmers. Disputes pertaining to land issues will have to be resolved.
පරිසරය ආරක්ෂා කරනවා. මොකද ඒ අය තමයි ඒ කැලෑවත් එක්ක ජීවත් වෙන්නේ. ව්‍යාපාරික වැඩ කරන අය තමයි කැලෑව කපන්නේ. නමුත් අපි දන්නවා 75ක් පමණ තවමත් තා දුෂ්කර අන්දමින්
Activities pertaining to the installation of the polythene and plastic retention apparatus in the Mahanayaka and the introduction of garlands made out of raw materials which could be recycled rather than the propagation of polythene based on garlands have been carried out in parallel to the inauguration program. The President has also officially handed over a multi-purpose splintering machine in Moragal District Secretary. The Mahasangha, Uva Province Governor A.J. Muzamil, State Minister Vijay Berugoda, Chairman of the Central Environment Authority S. Samarasinghe have also attended the event.
ගයිඩ්ලයින් එක. ඒවා ක්‍රියාත්මක කරනකොට අපි හැමතිස්සෙම බලන්න ඕනේ අපි කාටද වැඩ කරන්නේ? අපි වැඩ කරන්නේ ජනතාවට. ජනතාව තලාපෙලා නීතිය රකිලා වැඩක් නැහැනේ. ජනතාව අපි පත් කරලා තියෙන්නේ ඔවුන්ගේ යහපත සඳහා වැඩ කරන්න.
Thereafter, the President has called upon Chief Incumbent of the Kirivehera Rajamahawihara and Chief Sanganayaka of the Ruhunu Magampattu Venerable Kobawaka Dhamminda Thero and engaged in a brief discussion. Later on, the President has called on Chief Incumbent of the Abhinavaramaya Kathragama and Chief Judicial Sanganayaka of the Ruhunu Magampattu Venerable Kapugama Sarnathissa Thero and inquired on his well-being as well.
The cremation of the late Mahanayaka of the Sri Lanka Amarapura Mahanikaya, the Agama Pandita Most Venerable Kotugoda Dhammavasa Thera, will be conducted with full state honours at the Colombo Independence Square premises on the 25th of this month. He was born in Kotugoda village in Minuwangoda on the 23rd of January 1933. His parents were Vitharanage Harmanis Rodrigo and Celestina Rodrigo. He had been ordained in the year 1948 at the Sri Dhammapala Ramaya in Mount Lavania as a student bhikkhu of the Most Venerable Unamatune Dhammapala Nayaka Thera. The late Mahanayaka Thera was the chief incumbent of the Sri Lanka Dharmapala Ramaya, Upali Dharmashrame in Kataragama, Charumati Vihare in Kathmandu City, Nepal, and the Sri Lanka Buddhist Centre in Myanmar. The Most Venerable Kotugoda Dhammavasa Nayaka Thera has also been felicitated with the noble title of Agama Pandita by the government of Myanmar. A special motorcade carrying the remains of the late Mahanayaka Thera was brought to the Sri Dharmapala Ramaya in Mount Lavania at 5 p.m. today.
And the debate on the proposal submitted to the United Nations Human Rights Council by the core group of countries against Sri Lanka is scheduled to commence this evening at Geneva time. Reports from Geneva City, Switzerland also say that vote on the proposal is most likely to take place tomorrow. The proposal presented to the current session is named as AHRC 46L1. The core group, comprising of Britain, Canada, Germany, Malawi, Montenegro and North Macedonia, has tabled the proposal last week. It has been based on the report prepared by the High Commissioner of the United Nations Human Rights Council regarding Sri Lanka. When the UNHRC chief's report was submitted to the Geneva Human Rights Commission by the end of last month, a majority of countries have spoken against the harmful impact caused on Sri Lanka due to the implementation of the proposal. 21 countries have expressed their opposition to the proposal. Only 15 countries have shown support. The government, along with certain non-governmental organizations and overseas Sri Lankans, engaged in a strenuous effort to defeat the human rights operation. A special feature has been that Sri Lankans of many stratums in society expressing their opinions in this connection. Foreign Minister Dinesh Gunawardena has expressed his opinions regarding the measures to be taken by the government in connection with the proposal presented against Sri Lanka at the 46th session of the Geneva Human Rights Council. There is intense speculation on the international level on the outcome of the vote to be held this evening or tomorrow and the stance to be adopted by the countries such as India in this regard. And that's it for tonight's news. Thank you.